What's up and welcome to the Above Limits podcast. My name is Olympus Mons. Please follow and subscribe to the channel if you're new and listen to the whole thing. I got things to say, I got things to talk about, so here we go. The inauguration was the other day, and I was gonna, I get inspired to make videos, and then I'm just like, it's not even worth it. I'm just bummed out. I'm tired of this and that. And when I heard Biden talk, he talked about unity. He's like, "Oh, we're going to unite this country," but yet he has to bring up twice in his speech about the riot on the Capitol. They call it attack. They call it insurgency, etc. To me, if you are truly wanting to end the division, you wouldn't even bring it up. There's no need to bring it up. You just push forward. And if you truly are aware that, hey, 75 million people voted for Donald Trump, and they feel a certain way, and they were so brought to emotion that they were led into the Capitol. I'm not going to say they stormed in. They were let in, and they walked around, and then you had people do as they do. Now, the one thing with that is throughout humanity or human history, there's never been where people sit there and they take things, right? We've seen throughout human history that people were willing to die for what they believe in. They're willing to go to battle for what they believe in. They were willing to risk their lives and go to war, right? Throughout all history. So what's different from now? If you think that people are going to sit there and, number one, they cheated. They did a lot of goofy things to win this election. And when you combine that with COVID-19, etc., you have a weird planning of these two things where they go hand in hand for the foreseeing of the future of what's going to go on in the future. And people either live in a dictatorship, right? Like there's people that are living in a dictatorship right now. North Korea, China, name it. They're living in a dictatorship. They take it. So you either live in the dictatorship and exist, and some people go to death camps or work camps, or they're in prison for their speech, or, made a lesser human being for their speech, or they don't. Or they don't accept the dictatorship. Literally, okay, let's go back to the inauguration. He said, he made it perfectly clear of two things. That he talked about the manipulation of the media. It's like, what are you talking about? So you either have a free press who's allowed to speak on whatever they want, or you don't. It's in our Constitution, And this is one thing that he's going to go heavy on. This is going to be a focus here in the future between him, the Democrat-controlled Congress, and the Democrat-controlled Senate. Silencing information. And they're in partnership because it's the New World Order or the deep state, whatever you want to call it. These people that work in partnership to control the way society is going to go from now on. And then he also made it very clear he's gonna he's gonna what did he say about domestic terrorism? We will defeat it. So 75 million people that voted for Trump who feel that things weren't on the up and up and that there are irregularities in the things that happened during the voting, like there was no oversight. People weren't. Only one side was allowed to go. Hey, why are you crumbling up ballots right there? Why are you angry while you're counting ballots? Like, what's your deal? Maybe you're maybe you're not cut out for this duty here, this sacred duty of our election, which makes you a citizen of a country to be able to vote. If you don't vote, you're not a citizen. That's the way it was for African Americans back in the day. They were 3/5 of a person. They were not a white man, property owner, over the age of 18. They weren't a citizen. So he says that they're going to combat domestic terrorism. Do you feel like a terrorist? What is a terrorist? A terrorist kills people. You know, terrorists kill people in the worst possible way. I don't feel I'm a terrorist. I feel like I'm very disgusted with the way the country is going. And literally overnight, it just seems like a different narrative going on now that he's in office. Now it's like the second day he's been in office. They're talking about the surveillance state. We need to surveil people because of domestic terrorism, etc. And we gotta watch for media manipulation, etc. And some people are jumping for joy and gleeful about the fact that I saw some meme with like Kamala Harris, uh, 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 Jill Biden, and Michelle Obama as like the power, like they were wearing these outfits, probably $1,000 $2,000 outfits, um, and they call them the Powerpuff Girls. Like, bleh. I'm disgusted when I see that. Joe Biden's not a nice guy, no matter what you say. He's not a nice dude. Kamala Harris has done some horrific things, and now they're the people at the top. And you'll see that I mean, it is what it is in the fact that these are democratic policies that they're trying to put on. But let's not forget they cheated, and that's evil. That's pure evil. And what they're doing to Trump now, Trump might become a martyr. You might very well see Trump in prison, like Bill Cosby. They're trying to tarnish his legacy. They're trying to do this and that. It's just sickening. That's what they do in South American countries where it's fucking corrupt. We don't do that in the United States. How come information is so, you know, there's one side and then the other side they just say, "Oh, that's baseless. That's baseless. That's insurgency. That's insurrection." No, man. We're gonna see that people will not stand for it. If they do, then that's on them. That's on us. You know, it's something new. But history shows that people do not they do not stand. They will fight to the death and sacrifice themselves for a cause. The bad thing is once that happens, this country is truly over. Because whatever side wins, they win. And what isn't put in place, could very much become, like a South American country where there's little marshals and counties or whatever, and they're in charge of each different little area. You might see some weird stuff, man. This is Olympus Mons, the Above Limits podcast. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, follow, and we'll see you on the next one.